Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Is it worth getting the GoPro Hero 7 in 2021? Let's find out. That's right everybody, so we are filming directly on the GoPro Hero 7 in 4K wide field of view, wide even field of view on the ProTune flat profile. There is quite a little bit of wind, so the wind will be one of the main factors. We're filming straight from the camera with no mics and no added features. Now there will be some road noise. It'll be interesting to see how the GoPro handles the noise, and I'm also on the hyper smooth stabilization, so it'll be interesting to see how the stabilization deals. I'm just walking down a slight decline now, so what are your thoughts? Put them down in the comments below. Now apologies if you can't hear anything, but this is a true test. And now we're going to go on to a slow motion test and a hyperlapse test. Now in order to get 120p on the GoPro 7, there's a couple of caveats. So first we're going to have to move down to 2.7K and we're going to upscale it in post to 4K. And then the other downside is that we're going to have to take off the stabilization completely. So it'll be interesting to see what the stabilization is and what your thoughts are on it. Currently it's a nice kind of chilly warm day, nice cloud cover, so the lighting should be pretty good, and afterwards we're going to test out the low light capabilities as well. So back on the 24p in 4K, let's just go into the shadow here and see what it reacts like. I'd be very interested to see how this camera in 2021 deals with your normal day-to-day compared to the A7S III, because at the end of the day that was our main camera, but it is a hefty camera to carry. So this lighting's gone down. What do you guys think? So now let's move on to the time warp or hyperlapse function and see what that looks like. We're going to use speed 15 times. Okay, so we're back at home and looking through the footage that we recorded, and let's go step by step and see what we think. So let's start off with the normal 4K 24, and I'm just looking here at some of the footage, and I've done a pretty good job of exposing, I think, in some situations. There's a slight change when the lighting changes, though there shouldn't be that many changes of light. We have highlights somewhere around the 90 mark on the luma scale, and the shadows are somewhere around the 12.5 mark on the luma scale. So let's just click on one clip and we're going to bring the shadows down, not to clip them at the bottom, and bring the highlights up just to bring it some contrast. And yeah, that looks already 100 times better. We're gonna do it so you guys can see it on this clip. So here we go. Let's go on to the small color grading with the shadows and the highlights and see what it looks like. moving on to the slow motion, or moving down the timeline to the slow motion. Let's just play it back here. And yeah, there's a lot of wobbling, and the stabilization obviously being off is detrimental to the footage. So it doesn't look too bad because we have slowed it down 5 times onto the 24p timeline, and it is usable. And I presume, you know, if you kind of got the camera in a steady position on a tripod like I have now, that slow motion will be pretty good. Moving then on to the low light capabilities. Well, it was lower light because it was just under kind of some roofing with some tube lighting, and straight away right off the bat you can see that the shadows or the dark areas, especially on my hoodie, there's a lot of colorful noise. You see some magenta on there, you see some green straight away on there, so you know, not the best. You know, the quality is still pretty good, and I presume if I put some sharpening in it, it will look better. And let's do that now for you guys on the screen so you can see. But yeah, still a lot of work, you know, compared to the A7S III. There is a difference, but you know, it's totally usable in my opinion, I think. And then lastly, we have the hyperlapse, or what they call it on the GoPro Hero 7 time warp, I think it is, and we've set it on the 15 times scale, and it's pretty good and pretty stable. And again, you know, completely different exposure. Maybe the lighting changed outside a little bit, but the highlights are right there on the 100, the shadows are right there almost on the 0 without clipping, and the exposure's worked out pretty well on that, so I'm pretty happy with that. So that's going to conclude the video on the GoPro Hero 7 in 2021. What do you guys think? Do you like the footage? Is it something that you'd think about getting? Now, chances are you can't get these GoPros new any longer. You'll probably get them used, and I've checked them out. They're anything from 200 to 250 pounds at the moment. So, you know, still a decent price, and I think, you know, for day-to-day use, if you just want to record some special moments, pretty handy. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share the video, and I'll catch you next time, everybody. Bye for now.